What's up, everyone? This is DYANAROZAY. Welcome to my channel. Hey guys, how you doing? Hey. All right, come on in, come on in, come on in. If you guys can hear the sound of my voice, I want to make sure that my microphone is working. If you can hear the sound of my voice, go ahead and put your city and state in the chat. I see Blessed Queen B is showing up as a new member. She is rocking with the channel. Thank you so much. Rocking with DYANAROZAY. Hey, girl. It is a blessed day. I see Carmel Fox. She is coming in from Houston this morning. What's up, Carmel Fox? Hi, how are you? I see Flint, Michigan. Hey, Uppity, how are you? Welcome to the channel. I saw Flint, Michigan. Who else? Oh, Tampa, Florida, Pensacola, Florida, Houston, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia. What's up? It's hot today, Atlanta. Who else do we have? Oh, this is a name. It's Bradenton, Florida. What's up? What's up? I see Ty in the chat. That is one of my mods. Anyone that you see with a blue wrench behind their names, they're here to make sure that you guys have a good time in the chat. There is Wilmington, North Carolina. I see New York, Michigan again. I see Texas, New York, Connecticut, Fayetteville. I love to see where you guys are coming from. So thank you, everybody, for showing up for me today. Louisiana, also Tampa, Florida. Awesome, awesome. Okay, guys, we about to get into it, okay? We got Atlanta, Georgia again. So right now it says that 64 of you are watching, 32 likes. Go ahead and hit the like button. I know it's the middle of the afternoon, okay? But I want to make sure that I can get some stories out. What else is going on? I told you guys that anybody that you saw with a wrench behind their name is here to make sure that you're having a good time in the chat. That is important. So we don't want any, y'all don't have to cuss each other out if you have a difference of opinion. It's cool to be cool. Also, no racial slurs, no homophobic language, things like that. Just be cool. We're all adults here. And you guys, sometimes when you have all that rah-rah, it's hard to get back to your day. So that's number one. Number two, if you see anyone with a little star or an S behind their name, it shows up as a star, actually. Those are channel members. So the channel members are here to make sure that you have a good time in the chat as well. Okay. So you can go ahead and become a member by hitting that link at the very top of the page. Okay. Y'all, we got a lot of topics to get into today. Ooh, I see London, England. Hey, how are you from London? I love seeing her come into the chat. Okay. Birmingham, also Philadelphia. Columbus, Louisiana, New Orleans, my favorite accent ever. Chicago, my favorite city ever. Y'all already know how we do. So first off, I wanted to ask you guys a couple of questions. Now we got 81 watching. Of the people that are watching right now, did anyone have a chance to see? I also see Maryland. What's up, Maryland? Did anyone get a chance in Memphis, Tennessee? I look for the people who come in. Memphis is one of my people that come in all the time too. And Mississippi, of course. If you guys actually saw the new Love and Marriage Huntsville, I believe it's the Detroit, put a 1 in the chat if you saw it. If you didn't see it, put a 3 in the chat. That's the first thing I wanted to ask, because I had saw the show last night. And it ain't bad, but I want to see who saw it and who didn't. Who had a chance to see it and who didn't see it? Okay, so it looks like a mix of both. Okay, so Ty said no. London, yes. Okay, 3-3. Okay. All right, it's giving me 50-50 right now. 50-50. Okay, I wanted to see what someone said for never watching, never ever. Okay, that's cool too. Listen, you guys, I wanted to see who watched. I want to see who didn't. Let me take Mississippi down real fast. I did have an opportunity to watch it last night. Hey, everybody. Let me turn my lights on. I don't like it without the lights. Hold on. All right. Here we go. Turning on my lights. Okay. This is still my new computer, so it looks a little blurry to me. Hold on one second. I hate this camera. I'll be happy when my old computer get fixed so that I don't have this problem, because right now it is giving me the blues. on. Okay, let me see if I can clear off the camera lens. Okay, anyway, the reason why I was asking is because I wanted to see how many of you were actually watching it. It's not a horrible show, to be honest. The first episode came in pretty good. It actually is very, it's actually the stuff that everybody's been asking for. It's real families. The kids are amazing. They all seem to have little babies. Those little babies are adorable. And it's showing Black opulence, Black wealth, Black family. There's one couple, I think the couple's name is Kristen and Brandon. They actually live in a penthouse. I think that's better. I want to make sure you guys can see me. They live in a penthouse that overlooks the city of Detroit. I mean, is a pretty badass show. I understand the reasons why people aren't, but it's a pretty badass show considering what everybody had been asking for. So that's why I think it's hilarious. Ty says, same mess. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, it's talking about business, it's talking about relationships, it's talking about friendships, interpersonal relationships with friends, the husband-wife relationship, mother-father. That is what we all talk about. That's what I'm going to talk to you guys about today. So that's why I'm asking, what did Vibrant say? That was amazing. It's another show with weak men. Well, we only saw the first episode. So, Vibrant, did you actually see the show, or you're just taking other people's information? That's what I wanted to know. Y'all give it a chance. I'm reading the comments. Y'all give it a chance. It may inspire. It is actually, in my opinion, I saw it. I actually got into some of the storylines for the characters, the character meaning reality TV characters. And I actually like that they are showing the first line of the opening, not the first line, but in the opening it says, and if there's anyone from Detroit, tell me if this is true. In the opening it says, Detroit is a city where Black people help Black people become successful and stay successful. Something like Black people want to see other Black people be successful, and they'll do whatever it takes to help them be successful. And I thought that is an interesting tagline to put in the opening of the show, because that's not always the case. And for them to start the show in that manner, like that's going to be the line we hear, it sounds like every episode. I wanted to see what that looked like in Detroit. We know that Detroit is a city with a lot of history. I just wanted to say hi, taking a quick break from work. Hey girl, thank you. You didn't like the way the guy was talking to someone else's wife. Okay, so listen, Miss Ty, I hope you come up. But this is what I want to say. Didn't you think that guy also got checked? Like there was the one guy, I think it was Brandon, when the wife was talking and he grabbed the dude's shoulder like, I got this. I can talk to my wife. Me and my wife talk to each other. That's not your business. But they did the same on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay, so do you not think people talk like that to people? I'm just asking, because people do have those kind of engagements. The reason why I ask is because I've had friendship groups with wives and husbands where, things get tight sometimes. It's not always over a spades game. Sometimes you can have conversations about politics and other things, and things just might not connect with another person sitting at the table. And sometimes wives can also, when they know a lot about a friend's relationship, they might intervene and say certain things to the husbands. And then somebody might have to say, calm down, like the one husband did when he said to his wife, you got your whole toe, your whole foot is in their business. Bring it on over here. Stay with you and I. Like all of those were real conversations that I've seen happen. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Colby was out of pocket. Let me look at my notes. Which one is Colby? Okay. Colby. Okay, that's the lady you were saying is out of pocket. Colby and Russell, I think they said they've only been married for 3 years. Okay, I just wanted to see what some of y'all had to say about it, because right now you're talking to me, which says that you might have some interest. Y'all know I have a talent. I have a real gift for giving reviews. So I don't want to waste my gift if people aren't listening, but I have a talent and a gift for looking at these relationships and giving, just a down home sister girl kind of review. And that's what I want to do. Okay. Janice Washington is also giving a 3. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. That wasn't on my list. I had my little book that I had things in, and I had taken notes on the show last night. And so I wanted to know where you guys were. But it is a show that I think that could be interesting. I think the first episode, I was kind of like, oh, okay, I'm interested in seeing what's happening next. And it didn't start slow to me. And I really liked the opulence of it. I liked the way everybody looked. The other thing that I thought was important, maybe it's just me, I know sometimes people don't feel that way, but I liked that there were Black people on the show that didn't all look the same. Sometimes the women and the men can have the same aesthetic, if you know what I'm talking about. And I didn't. Okay, let me see. Yvette Bell said Detroit is very poor and have an abounded properties. The place has went down. Okay, that's interesting. One of the things they said at the opening is that Detroit was a city that is under a lot of changes, because we all remember people used to say it needs to, somebody just needs to take it off the map. But now we get to see a really different look from Detroit, because it's a Black city with a lot of history. And that's why I was asking. Blessed Queen said the true wife and husband don't always have to be on the same page. And sometimes the husband and wife do have to check each other. But to have another wife or husband check another is not okay for me. So do you like that the other husbands were like, yo, let's steer this someplace else? Just asking. Did you think they handled themselves well? Detroit is definitely coming along nicely. Beautiful riverfront. I mean, listen, it does have a beautiful riverfront. That's true. And I remember when people used to say, Detroit needs to disappear. Like, let it go. Nobody cares about Detroit. So I was actually like, ooh, this is interesting. Again, this is a place with a lot of history, right? The riots and all of that stuff. And we know that there is some places that need to come up and look better. However, it can't get there unless people want it to and give it a shot. So again, let's see what else is going on. So that's one of the things. But listen, let's talk about what I brought y'all here for. Let's start with, who do I have on my list? Let's start with these two right here, NeNe Leakes and Yanni. So if y'all don't know, his divorce has been settled. It's done. It's a closed deal. And I wanted to know what you guys think. Do y'all think they're going to the next level? If y'all didn't see the previous video I did where I showed NeNe and Yanni giggling, they were basically saying that they were friends, but maybe not so much. You know what I'm saying? They looked like they were into some things. They looked like they were still together. When she was laughing, she was very giddy. She fell over into his lap, and he was like, we're just friends. But right now, the divorce is final for him. Divorce is final. These two are still, hanging out as friends, quote unquote. And I just wanted to know what your thoughts were. Do you think, let's see, it's a place of yesteryears. Someone said, I don't see the show, but I intend to watch, and I'm just saying, I do appreciate a man or a woman that can help praise her spouse. It's a different group. It's not the same voice, in my opinion. It's not the same voices of men that we're hearing on Love and Marriage Huntsville. The thing with Love and Marriage Huntsville is all three men speak with the exact same voice. But I thought that the three men on this show speak with different voices. That's number one. And I wanted to see if it's true, if it can be sustained, if they are, really that close of a group of friends that they all think alike and do the same things, because they presented themselves as couples who, yes, they may be friends, but they also have their own opinions about their personal relationships and how they live with their families. And I think that's important. Whereas we saw the men, even though it started off like we all have a different voice, because remember, Marceau was supposed to be the male chauvinist and everybody else was, whatever. Now it seems like they're all chauvinists. They're all chauvinists. They all kind of think alike. So that's why I was asking. Okay. Someone said not interested in NeNe and the new guy. Okay. Who is interested in NeNe and the new guy? Okay. Anybody who think that NeNe and this new guy is going to take it to the next level, and they're just kind of, trying to get people off their back, because they literally went from saying we're just friends to they're still hanging out, they still taking pictures together, and now the announcement has come out that Yanni is officially divorced. It has been finalized. Y'all remember his estranged wife was suing NeNe Leakes for alienation of affection. So people were under the impression that, maybe NeNe had broken up with him because of all the narcissist comments. But now it looks like he is free and clear, okay? He is still walking around with them nice little suits on and his shorts, showing everybody that he, works out, always showing off his legs and his calves. So I wanted to know your thoughts on that. So people said that they do. Some people said that they do have an opinion about it. Some people said not interested. My second thing is, let me put up my banner just in case somebody starts losing it here. My second thing was Jonathan Majors. Y'all remember Jonathan Majors was dating a lady in New York. Now I think he's dating Megan Good. That is a relationship that just popped up within the last, I think, month. They've been holding hands, and recently she went to court with him about the young lady who has accused him of assaults, right? Accused him of assault, and I think maybe she tried to drop charges, but the state of New York does not allow that to happen. Once those charges are filed, it looks like they see it all the way through. That's the first thing. He is an actor. He literally was on his come up with the last movie, but everything went downhill. Everything went downhill. Okay, someone's saying that Jonathan was set up. So if you have not heard, as of today, Jonathan has also pressed charges on the ex-girlfriend, and the police have enough probable cause to pick her up. They have enough probable cause to pick her up, so she will be arrested for whatever he's accusing her of. So we have to see how this plays out. But I wanted to know, Jonathan and Megan are fake. You said that you believe that they're friends. So you think all the hand holding is not true. Fake relationship like Martell and Sheree. Okay, excellent. What else you guys are saying? I don't think that they are. I think NeNe is just having a good time, but we shall see. Okay, I think that NeNe has been partnered with, I don't know how long she said she was with Greg. It felt like a number of years. Her oldest son is how old? Because he was also around. I don't remember how old Bryce is, actually. But I think she has been married for over 20-something years, because she used to always say that, right? When y'all get to be as old as me and Greg's relationship, then you can tell or have some advice for me, but you don't have any advice for me. That's how she used to play or say things, right? But when you are used to being coupled, people that are used to being coupled usually couple quickly, and they stay coupled. They just like to be in a relationship. Even when she divorced Greg, she had gotten into another relationship pretty quickly with a guy who, was buying her the Rolex and all that stuff. So I'm curious. I wanted to know what you guys think about Jonathan Majors pressing charges on this young lady, the ex-girlfriend, and the cops saying there's enough information here to pick her up for probable cause. We kept trying to figure out, is she protecting Jonathan? Because we saw some text messages and things that were released that sound like she was protecting Jonathan, but now Jonathan has come out with some information that sounds like he may have been protecting her as well. So I want to know what that's about. Pacino Rule said, go ahead, Jonathan. So she's on Jonathan's side. Let's see what else is going on. Megan was dating him before the incident happened. She was who he was texting. Girl, really? She was who he was texting that made the clear girl snap on him in the car. You guys are amazing. I did not know that. Okay. Isis Blue came through with some info, y'all. What do y'all think about that? Let me know. Okay, so we'll be talking about that on the panel. That's one of the other subjects. we had an update. Let's see, did I put them up here? We had an update from Rasheed. Rasheed said the other day, I believe, if not last night, the night before, that he is still working on things and that his goal is to get his lady back. He said that right now he needs people to understand this. I guess it must have come off as he was broke and didn't have things or didn't have money. He said, I've always had money. Getting money for me is not a problem. I'm a hustler. If you tell me that this is what I need by blah, 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 then I'll get it. He said his problem is he doesn't manage money well. And that is why he's in the situation that he's in. But he said he can get money. It comes easy to him to get money. It's managing money and learning how to keep it. That's the problem. And he also said that right now he is working on getting his lady back. He said, I want my lady back right now. Okay. Make sure that we're not putting content creators' names in the chat. I put up a new rule, but I want that just across the board. Okay. Thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. I'm trying to keep things, pay attention to what's going on, but I don't always get to see the chat. Okay. So we want to talk about that. And hello, by the way, to everybody in the chat. Hello to Pretty Brown Eyes. Let's see what else we got going on. Sorry about that. Okay. Let's talk. Who's my next person? I told y'all about Jonathan. Let's talk about her. I know you guys are going to flip out when you hear this story. Her son, Jaden, came out today and said that his mother used to give him the hard stuff, okay? Not just a little puff, pass, but other things, the psychedelic kind. He said that he was introduced to it by his mother at a very early age. Now, if you guys know her story, you know that her mother, Jada's mother, is a recovering addict. And Jada has been very open and, telling her story about growing up with a woman who was a recovering addict. Her mother has been very open. She said that she still goes to meetings to this day. And her mother's also been very vocal about the children, her grandchildren, smoking Lala, right? But Jaden just revealed that it was a little more than Lala, and that it was introduced to all of them by their mother, Jada Pinkett. I wanted to know your thoughts on that, okay? Sometimes we put people on a pedestal, right? Let's see. He didn't have the wedding money. Child, he did not have that wedding money for sure. That was the first thing I thought about too. When I heard the Rasheed say it's not a problem for me getting the money, I was like, but it has to be if you ask to elope. He said he didn't have a problem managing it, but that's what he came out to say. And he also said, yo, I am trying to get my lady back. So I thought that was interesting. So you guys are still talking about Rasheed. I need y'all to come up with these comments on what y'all think about Jada Pinkett. Rasheed was talking gibberish and not being truthful, contradictions after contradictions. Okay, that's positively Dee Dee. Thank you for sharing. Tennessee girl said, I'm flabbergasted. Yeah, does that sound? Listen, we all know that the Pinkett family is different, but I didn't know they was that different, okay? Like, that is a lot. Let's see. JB said that sounds like cap. This story is probably slanted. People hate Jada, and I like her. Okay, so JB said that she's not buying any of that. Okay, let me pull this story up just to make sure that I'm giving y'all everything. Here we go. So here's what it actually says. It said, I'm reading this from Neighborhood Talk. It said, it's no secret that the Smiths live in their own world, which most of us can agree, but during a psychedelic science conference in Denver, Jaden Smith, who attended this conference, basically snitched on his mama, saying how his mother introduced it to his family, to the whole family. I think we even heard Will Smith saying that he was drinking some sort of tea that told him, after he was drinking the tea, he saw his life fortune and everything pass away, even though he still has a whole lot of his fortune. Okay. But people are saying that that's not true, that they gave it to, it's not good to give your kids drugs. He also credited his mother for helping him love his siblings more. And we heard this too. Both Jaden and Willow have said they had a really bad relationship. They didn't like each other at all. But he's saying that it helped him like his siblings more, taking the drug, and helped him deal with some past trauma. He actually said that he thought it opened up their minds as children. It opened up their minds and helped them see things out of the box. So y'all can let me know what y'all think about that when I bring some of you up. We got 294 of you watching. Thank you guys. And we have only 139 likes. So please hit the like button. Okay. I'm going to have to start making this a members, subscriber only chat. A subscriber only chat. So I wanted to know your feelings on Miss Jada. And then my last one is Croy and Kim. So y'all remember Croy and Kim. Y'all remember Kim specifically after she got with Croy and they moved into their little house. Y'all remember what she said about Candy Burris when she went to visit her house? Does anyone remember what Kim Bierman said about Candy Burris's house when she had gone over to her neighborhood with Sweetie? Let's see. Someone said, Diana, did anyone tell you that Marcini Martin looks like she can be your daughter? No one's ever told me that. She's a beautiful little girl, though. Thank you for saying or suggesting it. I do think she's pretty. Let's see. She said, yes. She said, I heard this was the hood. Is this the ghetto? Is this the ghetto? Sweetie told me that this was a hood and I was afraid to come over here. Well, y'all, let's hear what Kim has to say. Let's hear what Kim. That this was a hood and I was afraid to come over here. Well, y'all, let's hear what Kim has to say. Listen, I'm listening to my own doggone voice. Let's hear what Kim had to say about Croy just very recently. Okay, check this out.
Super quiet. I don't know why. I just have a situation here where my husband is threatening a kidnapping because my girlfriend took my son on a play date. And now he has harassed not only the mother, but my son is shaking and hysterically crying. And
I'm not sure if you guys can hear it. Not watching. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it because the audio is low, but Kim called the police on Croy the other day. The reason why I brought up the ghetto conversation is because Kim has called the police, her and Croy have called the police on each other more than anyone that I have seen in an early divorce phase. So, someone said they can't hear it. Okay, so hold on.
I'm super quiet. I don't know why. I just have a situation here where my husband is threatening a kidnapping because my girlfriend took my son on a play date. And now he has harassed not only the mother, but my son is shaking and hysterically crying. And now I'm just going to leave and just go pick him up to prevent this situation. I just don't know what else to do at this point.
Okay, can you repeat that? What happened? I'm sorry. Can you please tell the story again?
I'm sorry, what was that? I can hear you. I'm just going to put you on speaker just because my son, I dropped my son off. I live in the manor. I dropped my son off at the front gate for 6 years. They were going to the rodeo, whatever. My husband, we're going through a divorce, just came in and said that he's going to file kidnapping charges on her. And I said, absolutely not. I agreed that she could take him. And then he, because he's crying hysterically on the phone. And now I'm going to pick him up and just to create any kind of further stuff. That it's just, I did call my lawyer to ask him if it was kidnapping, so I didn't want police to get in trouble. And he said it's not, if one parent can consent. And my husband did steal my bag that has all my divorce paperwork and all my stuff in it. This is just so petty, and I hate to call 911 for this situation. I just was so frantic in the moment when I realized that he was gone, and at least want him going to the house and doing anything crazy because he's known to do crazy things.
Okay, may I have your name? The police come to?
Well, I don't know. I'm just going to let it, I'm going to go pick my son up. And then I I don't feel like this is going to be the end of it, to be honest with you tonight. So I will probably call you back rather than kind of go back and forth with this and the police. I'm just going to pick my son up because he's very distraught.
Okay.
Okay.
And I will call you if I need you.
So basically, she said she wanted to put it on record that she had to call the police because Croy told her friend, a friend that she had given permission to take their son to whatever event they were doing. Kim actually gave the friend permission, and Croy told the friend, "I'm going to call the police and put kidnapping charges on you." And now she had to go pick up this little boy from her friend's house. She said that he took her divorce paperwork and that she feared things would get worse before the end of the night. So she wanted to put it on record that she had called the police earlier in the day because she was going to go back to the house. "I'm going to pick up my son. I just want to put it on record in case I have to call you back because I don't believe this will be the end of it." And I wanted to just, again, we're going to keep an eye on Kim and Croy. Someone said that they need 911 counseling service because for as much as she was looking down her nose at a certain group of people, okay, she abuses 911 like nobody's doggone business, the two of them together. And since this whole situation has come out, I have to wonder, right, like what, like people do get picked up for false 911 calls, right? She just wanted to put it on record. You know, there's a non-emergency phone number that you can call. She also said that she called her lawyer who gave her advice and said, "Hey, don't worry. You can definitely, your friend can keep the child, that there's no issue." The thing is, the friend is like, "I don't want the police coming to my damn house and my neighbors thinking that I have a problem because your husband, your estranged husband, is threatening me with the police." I wanted to know what you guys thought about that too. Okay. Let's see. Tennessee girls. So that's pretty much it for the topics. Let me see if I have anything else for y'all. Hold on one second, and then I'll put the link in the comment or in the comment section. And then if you guys want, we can have just an open topic. Oh, this is also what I wanted to talk to you about. Let's talk a little bit about the ratings. We can see it here. Episode 8 for Real Housewives of Atlanta came in at 721,000, excuse me. So there's still a significant drop, right? About 73,000 people didn't watch this show. That's a lot. That is a lot. And then we have Love and Marriage Huntsville ratings. And this one came in at 314,000, which was a bump up from episode 11. And this one, the last one, I thought was really excellent. I loved episode 11. I thought episode 11 was good, but people did not get an opportunity to watch that one. So anywho, let me get you guys the link. And I'd love for you to come up and share your thoughts on all of it. And then if you also like, we can have open discussion, okay? Open discussion if you'd like on whatever topic you choose to have it on. So here is the link. This contains the join link. The join link is at the very top, and that is to join the panel. Hopefully that works for you. And then the second link is the membership link if you're interested in joining that. So come on up. I see somebody up already. All right, Miss Vibrant Thing, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine.
Hi. Okay.
Uh,
So we got kind of a free for all. And I also said I really loved episode 11. I hate that Melody was not in episode 12, right? In episode 12, I want to know your thoughts on it because there's a lot of people that have been talking about it. I saw that Melody came on Monday. Was it Monday? What's today? Wednesday? And she was super chipper and saying that she wasn't letting anybody, mess up her energy or her week. But I wanted to know what your thoughts. And then also Own Keep It Real gave Melody a compliment. I had posted those things in my Facebook group, DYANAROZAY Keep It Real. But I wanted to know if we can have healthy conversation and dialogue about what we're talking about so far, all the topics. Now, sorry about that, Miss Vibrant Thing. Go ahead, please.
oh, no problem. Um, Well, with Marriage Huntsville,
Hmm.
with that one, I peeped game on Kimmy and Maurice's relationship when it first started, even though it wasn't a lot. Like they'll show bits and snips and pieces of how he would kind of like take over the relationship with not giving her or listening to her perspective.
Are you
So that
talking
was
about you peeped it from season one, from the first time of the show?
Yes,
Okay.
just like the simple things of, oh, I'm gonna move my ex-wife down here, and so I could tell there was issues that didn't sound too right, or she didn't really truly agree with, but because she had decided to be with him, that she agreed with it. Even like with Monster, I'm not Monster, the son MJ or Reese, I think they said he want to be called Reese Junior,
Oh,
coming
is that
down
what
there.
they? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think he said that he don't want to be labeled as of what I was heard or listening to the YouTube streets. He didn't want to be labeled as monster anymore, but of course they still call him that, which I don't blame the kid. I wouldn't want to be called monster either, but especially as he gotten older, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
With the DC one, I mean Detroit one, I did watch it. I thought it was a good show. I'm just over the men, and I am a therapist, but I've also just, to me it just shows a lot of men that I'm okay with you saying you are a traditional man. But you got to really be a traditional man. And I just feel like a lot of the men on these shows, they say traditional or they talk about gender roles just to basically get what they want.
Okay.
And
Mm-hmm.
you've heard the old saying, he want cake and eat it too. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I think they use it because I am from the South, and I feel like the men would say, okay, I did grow up in two-parent household, and my dad did technically take care of the household, but my mom also had to work. So even though he may have came home and brought his whole check home, mom still had to work because one chick didn't take care of the whole household, right?
Hmm.
So therefore, yeah, you might have to come home and help with some things too, because, and then of course the kids had to do chores too to offset that. But I guess, like I say, my biggest thing is, I understand the gender roles thing, and if that's what your house want to follow, that's fine. But you can't have it both ways. You want the gender roles, but you then still want her to work, or you know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
that's all I meant about the Detroit. I felt like it was a good show. I just didn't like, and then when the guys clearly says, "Oh, the men club," and you know what he's trying to be misogyny about it. That was the thing for me.
Vibrant thing. I want that is a good. You everything you said was absolutely perfect. This is what I want to ask you, because I haven't reviewed the show yet. I'm doing that today. The person you're talking about is Anthony and Latoya, and Anthony is saying the whole men's club. But the thing is, his wife is the moneymaker. His wife is a doctor.
Exactly,
His wife is
exactly.
a doctor. She works at the hospital. She also owns. Does she own a vineyard or or just a wine brand?
I
The
think it's
wine
the
brand.
wine brand.
That's the wine brand. Okay. So his wife makes all the bank and he works for her. They established that at the beginning. He works for her, she pays him a check. Now, I don't want to get too much in it. I want to ask you guys, what do you think? Hold on one second, okay? I had asked you guys not to put content creators' names in the chat. So I'm going to delete them. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm sorry. Just so many people have come up on my panel and have been literally, even though I've given them a platform, I was just shocked and amazed at the things that has been said about me. So I'm showing a little more respect for myself than others have had for me. That's it.
That's right. That's right, Diane.
Okay, so um, that's just across the board. I've been doing this for a while and I've been pretty cool. I just can't do it anymore. I'm heartbroken by it. So this is what I want to say. Because we know that this man he's working for his wife. I guess he wanted to do something with Marvel Comics or something. Is that what it was? And she told him no because the job would be in Atlanta.
Yes.
Okay. So what do you think is happening if he's doing that? And then also, did you get the impression that people were trying to imply that he might be bi?
I did. I think too, a lot of issues may have happened in their marriage early on. And even that with the other couple, I think they have trust issues and they do need counseling and therapy for that. Because you can clearly see, even with the other couple, I think that's one of the bigger issues of why they are so gun ho on, oh, I don't want you in the studio too personal with another artist, or I don't want you to go to. And I think even with Latoya and Brandon, I think she needs him to still help at home because even though he's saying a traditional man, if she's working, who's at home with the kids?
He's at home with the kids. And that's
But
what
he can't be at home with the kids if he's going to Atlanta. So, I think it's a lot of give and take. And that's why I say when he started to bring up that man thing, look, you're in a relationship, you're in a marriage, like you have to have some give and take.
Okay. So I'm hoping we can explore it a little further. But it sounds to me, because the way he said it, he was like, I'm your assistant. I'm the one who's doing all the traveling back and forth from Detroit to California. Uh-oh, someone needs to mic up. Thank you. Okay. Okay, I'm going to have to mute you guys. Okay, she's muted. She's muted. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I was wondering, I was curious. He was like, I'm her assistant, I'm her everything. So it's clear that she runs the money in the household. And when he said, you told me if I didn't come back home that we would be divorced, that would have been the end of the marriage, right? So they already established that. Now
Right.
that's what I'm interested in seeing. Is he just doing a whole lot of talk or what? Which I would think so, because at the end of the day, you're getting your paycheck from your wife. You can have as
He's
many men moments or yip yap as you want, but the check is coming from your wife.
And you're right. He's probably doing only talk, but he's encouraging the other men.
Okay.
It's, that's the thing. Like he's probably all talk, but then because I watched him sip tea for the next episode, like when it came out of why the wife didn't really want him to, or why he was scared to tell the wife about the new artist or whatever. It was like Brandon sipped tea after that. Like he almost got a little, like you say, message side of him, because I was like, okay, really, he really, or that could just be editing how they put his, showed him putting the wine glass to his mouth after that came out. And I was like you said, you're right. He probably is all talk, but he's also encouraging those things to the other men that.
So Vibrant, hold on. There's two things I'm gonna ask you. I'm just asking your thoughts on it, okay? So when I think it was Christina and Brandon were talking, and I think his name is Anthony. Anthony's the one who said that he wants the male movement. When Anthony said, "What if we all wanted to go to the club?" And then I think Christina said, "Well, Brandon wouldn't go to the club," and he said, "Why not?" And then Brandon put his hand on Anthony's shoulder and said, I got this, player. Like, you don't ever have to talk to her. I got this. And then he said to his wife, why wouldn't I go to the club? And she said, because you don't like going to the club. He said, thank you. This is because we know each other and we can have this conversation. Didn't you think that was a good checkmate?
Mm-hmm.
It really was. Okay. It really was.
Yeah, you got to check people. You got to check them. And I mean, people are going to, in everyday life, we're going to go off the rails like that, but you got to check them. And we know that there's something going on with, I think it's Russell and Kobe. We know there's more going on with them too, because Russell right now is just biting his tongue. Like he sits there looking at Kobe like she's an alien.
Right.
Am I right? No, I think that Russell is the one who has the record studio, right? That he
yes,
an artist. So right now he's not saying much of anything. We saw him have that moment between him and his wife where what happened to her? She called him and was like, who are you in the studio with? And he was like, you messing up my vibe. I'll be home when I'm at home.
But it's some trust issues with them, definitely.
Trust issues. And she said it was an emotional infidelity. Physical infidelity, but it sounds like it's much more than that.
I think it's much more than that also. However, emotional is a lot. I still think it was much more than that. Or that could have been just one instance too. He probably had more instances where more happened than that. And
Mhm.
I think he knows it, but it's almost like I want my marriage, but I still kind of want to, when he do want to, like you say, get an extra artist and not even go that far, it's hard for her to trust and believe he won't because of stuff he's done probably in the past. And that's allegedly, and in my opinion, let me say
Mhm.
that.
Okay. All right. I would just want to know your thoughts on that. How about the other subjects that we talked about today? Kim and Croy, NeNe Leakes, maybe possibly getting married again. What are your thoughts
Uh,
on that?
Kim and Croy, I don't have a lot to say about her. I don't like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm a Candy fan. So I don't like when people go against Candy. So I'm gonna just leave that alone.
Okay.
Um, NeNe, I like NeNe. I really actually like NeNe more towards the end. I didn't like some of the stuff was going on with her and Greg, of course,
Hmm.
towards the end, because I think she was getting caregiver burnout at that
Hmm.
time.
Hmm.
But I do still like NeNe. Hope only the best for her. I'm not sure about this new guy. Don't know a lot about him. I know they said he was married when she was dating him, blah, blah, blah.
Hmm.
I don't think that's a good look, to start messing with someone that's married already. So she might need a whole new guy from that. And then I know you said something about the Smiths. I can't remember. I didn't really pay attention a whole lot to that because I am
So
working, but
psychedelic drugs that Jaden has come out, went to a psychedelic conference, stood on the stage as if that was going to be a private little moment, and said that his mama gave him and his siblings psychedelic drugs when they were younger.
I feel like always felt like and I like Jada, but I feel like she's always been weird.
Hmm.
And I think, and this is just like I say in my opinion, and it could be because I like Will Smith too, that I feel like he allows her to do a lot because I think that was really his heart. Like he really loved her that much that he allows her to just do whatever. But I always felt like Jada was weird. I don't know if I'm
Okay.
saying that right.
Okay.
So I
So
can believe it, but I wish she wouldn't have because those kids to me, or some of them might be a little messed up. But like I said, that's my opinion and y'all don't judge me. I try not to talk about people's kids, but
Mm-hmm.
I also have another topic that I'm introducing to the panel. I'm squeezing it in. Shirley Strawberry from the Steve Harvey Show. You guys may not have heard of it. It was actually a couple of months ago, and now it's just now hitting the news. But I actually did talk about this a couple of months ago. Her husband has been charged with some sort of theft, like I don't know if it's credit card or what, but actually it's more than that because it said it was millions of dollars that he's being accused of stealing. Um, I don't know if you guys had heard about that. Have y'all heard about that?
I haven't heard about that, but I haven't watched or listened to Steve Harvey's show in a long time. And I felt like she didn't always gave the best advice on the strawberry letter anyway. So
Okay, let me see what is going on. His name is Ernesto Williams, and he was arrested. Ooh, he's been in the men's grooming industry for 20 years. He was arrested and charged with what?
Child something, right?
Oh no, not with kids, child. Please say no. I would not be able to. News of arrest, ashamed of the rumors. Her husband Ernesto. He's a handsome guy too. Um, it says that the details are not available. I'm not sure why, but it had to do with something like some sort of fraud. And it was, I know it was several millions of dollars that it was involved in it. I can't see the whole thing right now. So even though I said that was on the table, we're going to take it off the table because I can't even find the rest of it. Okay, let's talk to LaDon. I'm sorry about that, Miss Viber thing. Let's go into LaDon. And what do you have to say about the topics today, honey?
Well, I'm gonna start with Jada Pickett.
Okay.
I used to like her. I'm gonna put it that way. A long, long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
I started like sideways looking at her, side eyeing her during certain things. The reason why I don't think it's right that she gave them kids psychedelic, whichever, is because everybody to me deal with things or take things differently. You know, the way something might make me feel might not make you feel the same way. And at that young age, to introduce that to them, I think that's why they lack motivation now,
Mhm.
because they could be a lot further with the connections and the life they've been able to live. I
Mhm.
believe they should be a lot further, especially not having no kids and nothing major holding them back. And it's probably due to what she was pumping in them,
So you
So
don't think that you don't think they are where they should be in life?
I think they had to go through a lot of mental stuff. You know what I mean? They weren't happy for a lot of years. They were suffering with depression and different things
I
like
didn't
that.
realize that. Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't even talking to Jaden wasn't even talking to his mother for a while. They got into it before, and he was kind of angry at her,
Oh,
but
wow. Okay, I'm so sorry. I just read that it did have to do with children. Holy
yes, yes.
shit.
That thing I was, yep.
Oh
That's
my
why I said
God.
child something. I
Oh
didn't really
boy.
get too
I gotta
deep, but
mic
it
up.
was that.
I am
Yep.
so sick right now. Holy cow. Okay,
Yes.
I have to look this article up. I am so hurt for her. I can't even
Mm-hmm.
imagine. I cannot
Yep.
imagine. Oh my God. Okay, sorry about that, LaDon. Go ahead.
So that's just how I feel with Jada. I'm not gonna, really dwell on it too much, but I just feel like that was the wrong thing to do. I think, you should never introduce that to your kids at such a young age. Anyways, so I about Megan Good. I think it's a double-edged sword. I just have to really hear more about um the details about really what took place, because I do know sometimes women be hitting men, and people are human. Sometimes your reflexes might pop off back because you've been hit so much. I don't
Hmm.
know. I don't condone it, but I just have to, I don't know enough to say who's wrong or right.
Hmm.
But as far as NeNe, um, I like NeNe. I just want NeNe to be happy.
Okay.
And however she got, the man, she didn't break her and the man up. You know what I mean? Him and the ex up. So I feel like I think there was problems before NeNe came. They was already kind of separated. Sometimes, like my mother-in-law, God rest her soul, she didn't divorce her husband. She said, y'all can have him, y'all can have the D, but she did not divorce him. And the day he died, she got his pension and all that. She did not divorce him, but they lived in separate households and they weren't dealing with each other. Sometimes that works for some people and sometimes it doesn't. You know, I do have a problem with women interrupting a household, like saying if they were trying to work it out and the wife was under the impression they were trying to work it out and stuff like that, and they were still dipping in the sauce and stuff
Hmm.
like that. I
Hmm.
have a problem with a woman coming in because that can be a distraction of him trying to keep his focus on his family and trying to work it out. But if they are separated and have been separated for years and living in different houses, living two different lives,
Hmm.
um, and they don't dip in the sauce, then to each his own, they're grown. That's how I feel about that part.
Okay.
But Love and Marriage DC, I, I mean Detroit, I'm gonna give it a chance. I have seen some red flags already, but I'm looking forward to it because it's going to open up some conversations that need to be had. So as long as it don't go towards bullying and AB, I'm going to show up for it because we need to have conversations so our younger women can see what we shouldn't be doing or tolerating.
Yeah, it's a beautiful group of people. I love that they have given us, like I said, we Black people are beautiful. We come in
Mm-hmm.
all different aesthetics. Okay, I
Mm-hmm.
like that we're getting a different aesthetics with the women, um,
Mm-hmm.
and the men. Okay, and I think that we are getting a chance to see people that we wouldn't traditionally see on
Mm-hmm.
TV
Yeah.
represent wealth and family.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what I
Yeah.
want to see.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, I'm gonna interrupt you for a second. So there's
Mm-hmm.
two things. So in on October 25th, 2022, I had actually talked to you guys about the first arrest that had to do with Ernesto, and it was 40. It says that he had him and a woman by the name of Erica King had convinced people to pay them for business expertise, and basically they had taken well over $1 million. They had about a half a dozen or a dozen victims, and they took over $1 million from them, including property for their business dealings. Okay, now I don't know if she had broke up with this guy after that happened or not, but now they're saying that he was also found with child P on
Mm-hmm.
a computer. So
Whew.
on his computer, and basically they said that he had a bail hearing on live stream. Ugh, that is something else. That is something else. I don't know how you deal with that. And she has a little granddaughter.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't believe that the two of them had kids. I believe they met each other later in life. But I do know that she has a granddaughter because I follow her and I see her babies all the time.
that is sad.
So fingers crossed and prayers that nothing went down with her family,
Yeah.
anybody else's family.
Hopefully it's not connected with her and hers. It's not going to affect. You know what I mean? Hopefully he got to eat that by himself.
I can't. That's not all he's being charged with. Okay, child, let me know what else he's being charged with. Somebody, they bringing it up in the chat. So the first time, yes, I see that, and I saw them. I saw them last year. We were coming in a store and they were coming out. I was like, that's Shirley Strawberry. Like, people look so different from like TV or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Really beautiful woman, and they were striking together as a couple. But damn, you don't know what you get yourself into because you think people have it together, and they do not. That's just horrible to have tagged onto her name because she really does try to be an upstanding person, present as an upstanding person, and involved in the community and things like that. So if there's more to this story, you guys can let me know in the comments. But I know he was charged back in October with scamming. I had no idea that this was also included with it, and that looks like it happened within the last 11 hours, is what they're saying. Okay, sorry about that, LaDon.
That's
Okay,
all right.
anybody else that you wanted to chit chat about?
Loving Marriage Huntsville and Kimmy.
Okay.
Oh God. Okay, I did like some of the episode better because I felt like we were on a path to seeing their lives individually and not only about Mel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I was happy to see that part.
Okay.
I really, I'm on the fence with Kimmy. First of all, I do feel bad for Kimmy.
Mm-hmm.
I do, but at the same time, you can't feel so bad for a person that don't feel bad for herself. It's like, okay, yes, I can give you some grace and I can feel sorry for you, but you got to make some choices, honey.
Mm-hmm.
You can't stay stuck in a unhealthy situation and keep taking the beating and we over here crying for you. It just don't work like that. You're going to have to make some choices. It is just absolutely disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
And it don't take a rocket scientist to see that this boy's not happy. And it's not about, oh, when you move, you got to adjust and things are new. He's been there for over a year. He's been there for a while. And this young man is falling deeper and deeper into a depression. And I don't think people take it serious enough what depression can do, especially you see what it does to older people. Imagine, I have a 15-year-old son. You know what I mean? Imagine some mothers have to bury their kids. I'm sorry to say, but I'm keeping it real. Meaning you take it very serious when you see your child looks depressed or withdrawn, telling you that he's talking to himself in his head.
Do you feel like that they went the right direction with saying they're moving forward with counseling as a family?
I think that's a start.
Okay.
But we all know that people can manipulate counselors.
That's true.
They got to take it serious and not just be for the show.
That's similar to what happened on the DC, where I forgot his name, Jamie and his son had sat in front of the counselor, and then the counselor said, you and I to the son need to speak one-on-one individually without him in the room, or family in the room. I think that there was two things that I liked that was positive, even though I completely understand what you're saying. I like that Kiowa said, number one, we got to take this boy out of this room right now because you can't keep attacking him. I can talk separately, and then we'll see the rest of that conversation on Saturday. Because I think that he is closest to his mother, clearly. That's number one. But I also like that, hey, Rue, I also like that they were serious about a next step. Like, we can all go to counseling together now. Maurice was trying to be an asshole, when he said, do you just want it to be me, Kiowa, and Reese Jr.? That's what we're going to call him, and Reese Jr. And then, Kimmy's looking like, you're leaving me out of this process again. But at the end of the day, they need to go to counseling. The growing up. I
didn't look at it as Kimmy saying you leaving me out. I think Kimmy wants to be left out. I think... I don't think I think he was trying to drag her in. No, like, we all need to go. When you made this baby with Kiowa, before I was involved, y'all created this before I came along. So my thing is, I can be there to support, but don't make it like it's mandatory that I have to be a part of.
They all need to go.
The bonus mother. The bonus parent means I help out. I don't take over, because I've been a stepmother, and I've been a stepmother to a man who cheated on me. Let's keep it real. He cheated and made that baby that I had to deal with. And I did. I loved that baby. He's 16, 17, older than my son. But I know how it is to try to blend families. And I would never, if a parent is not on this earth, that's one thing, but I would never overstep boundaries. We have heard Kiowa say that she would only allow Kimmy to do but so much. You know?
Child. You're right. You're right. That's 100% correct. And that was how the whole conversation started. It was basically, it almost felt like they were bringing the conversation, but at this point, now that we've seen more, it almost felt like she was saying, let's introduce how this even started. You guys had set parameters saying what I could and couldn't do. And I respect it, because I raised my child. Your son now is about to leave this house and go to college. What skills are you going to give him to cope once he's in this house? And for the two of you to figure out, because y'all were so adamant that you had it. So I think you should still have it.
And you know why I think it's deeper than this? Because what's the big deal with teaching your son how to make his bed, make sandwiches, cheeseburgers, hot dogs, and stuff like that? So when he go away to college, Maurice, ain't nobody, mama's going to be there, and he's going to share a room. Oh, so you want him to use his roommate and lay on him and let his roommate pick up the slack like you do?
LaDawn, did you not think it was the biggest dig? I had to go back and watch it when Kimmy said, well, Kiowa didn't teach him how to do the laundry, so that's something I did.
Yes, because it's true.
And Kiowa sat there like she was stone in her face, but I was like, Kiowa did not or nothing. She just was like, is she coming for me? Because I swear to God.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
swear
now
to
you
God.
want me to deal with it. You like, and then y'all want to talk crap to me like I created this issue when I'm only trying to help you with it. Now
Yeah.
don't make me the
I
forefront.
didn't realize Kimmy got her dig back from her telling her to put that coat up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you see how so Kimmy's face looks pretty, but Maurice doesn't realize what she's really going through because when Kimmy turned her back and I looked at her body, her butt is sagging like she lost a lot of weight. Poor Kimmy going through what she's going through. Her body looks unhealthy. You can tell it took a toll on her. I don't
She's
care about the
still
makeup
in
and the
recovery.
weave. She looks unhealthy and she is recovering. And
Still
how
recovering.
dare them act like this is nothing?
Yeah.
I had to leave a live yesterday because so many women were saying it is on Kimmy to step up because she is the woman in the house.
That's interesting.
They did not care. They did not care if her hair was falling off. She was throwing up after chemo. They did not care. They said that's her house. She's the wife and she's supposed to do whatever necessary.
So, LaDon, I'm gonna pause you right there because this is a good point. This is a good point. There is a lot of us who think one way, and there's a lot of us who think another, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is no different from what we're seeing on the show. This is why we like talking about it because it helps people understand better why people feel the way they feel, think the way they think, do the things they do.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie said that both parents need to go to counseling with MJ, then gradually bring Kimmy in. Okay?
I agree.
And the actual parents. And also, we also have to remember that where he is right now in his life, he's a young man, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Numbers are, it's just that. It's just numbers. But he's going to be leaving. I think he's 17. I think someone said he was 17. So he will be 18. I think we just passed his 17th party, his 17-year-old party, a couple of months ago, because that's when he was doing the dance. But he's there. He got a mustache and everything. He drives. He's a football player. All the ladies love him. Okay. So yeah, right now he needs coping skills. He needs coping skills. But anywho, let me get to Ty. Hey, Ty, you still up here? I think she dropped
Oh,
down.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
How
Hey,
you
honey.
doing?
Awesome.
Okay. I'm sorry. First things first. I looked at your what it was, the live you did the other day, yesterday maybe.
Yes.
And for the record, I would like to say, Mel was never vindictive. Somebody said that on your live the other day.
Oh, okay.
And I said and I wanted to say that she was never vindictive. I don't know if they understood what the definition of vindictive is, but that's somebody spiteful and looking for revenge. Mel never displayed any of that.
Right.
Okay. So then, as far as NeNe go, NeNe lost her husband. NeNe almost lost her son. NeNe was played at the Bravo Network. If she happy, I'm happy. As far as the ex-wife thing, she made a whole lot of noise for nothing. Their marriage was already in a desolate state.
Hold on 1 second. If someone can drop what is his bond, Ernesto's bond, because I don't see it up here. Just tell me what they are asking to bond this man out. Not that he should get out, okay? His name is what? Ernesto Williams. If y'all can let me know in the chat what that looked like. Okay, sorry about that. And I agree with you. I feel like Melody was going through what she needed to go through. She was expressing what she needed to express. I don't think that anyone understands exactly. I don't understand either because I've never gone through exactly what she's done. However, I do believe that what she did do was hard, to have all of that shit play out on camera, to have it play out on the internet. Some of the stuff that we're looking at now with people's information coming out, what happened to who and who's doing what, all of that stuff happened to Melody first. It all happened to Melody first. All of her information was hitting the internet about that girl. The girl was the one releasing it, maybe with Martell's help. Who knows? He helped her go to Tasha K's channel, and things that she didn't tell the audience, things that she didn't tell her fan base, someone else told, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you upset?
No.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, the way she's handled herself with more grace than
right. That's why I said she wasn't.
A lot of us could ever do, because those are the kind of things that people roll up to people's houses with to make sure that they're never seen or heard from again. It's embarrassing and it's a lot to carry. So for her to have found herself in a place where she's like, I have to shed this weight and not look backward, let them people stay and waddle in the places they're staying and waddle. I'm going to move on. I think that's important. I think we even need to know what that looks like, because we all know that typically it doesn't go down like that, especially on a public platform. It just doesn't go down like that.
Mm-hmm. But that's why I said Mel wasn't being vindictive. You know?
You're right.
Okay, so did you hear what I said about the NeNe thing?
You
If she happy, I'm happy.
Yeah, she's happy, you're happy. And I said the same thing. People thought she was at her worst. She was dealing with a sick husband. So
right. Okay, so with the Croy and Kim stuff, I don't really do ghetto. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't really with all that.
Jonathan set it up because she's the one who said she didn't do it either, but turns out it came quite naturally to her. I'm trying to tell you.
So the Jonathan Majors thing, to be honest with you, I really don't care one way or the other.
Okay.
I just don't. They got more important stuff going on, like my reality shows. But what I do want to say is, this is the time for everybody to keep their foot on Maurice and Kimmy's neck. Since they want to be in the spotlight, call out everything.
Okay.
I think a lot of people is kind of missing that Monster is of age. I'm sorry. Maurice Jr. is of age where he can get on the internet and look at the stuff that they say about his mama, about his daddy, that he might be dealing with that type of stuff. Also, Maurice is a jackass. He figured he would get his son after Kaya went and put in the time to raise him, not all the way because he was 12 or 13 years old. He was a preteen. She put all the nurturing into him and all that. He figured he'd step in at this age thinking he well equipped and he just gonna come up and be what I don't want to say drills, a hard
super
ass
dad
on his son. Well, yeah, that's what he think he is. However, he's not, because I seen he kind of like, I'm not gonna say forced, because I don't know if Monster really liked Maurice Jr. really liked football, but I could see Maurice in his head, senior, oh, my son gonna play football and we gonna be all in, just to have something to show off with about the son factor. I'm quite sure he didn't have a conversation with Kiowa when he got Maurice Jr., so they could talk about what he like, what he don't like, how he is, his emotions. I'm quite sure he didn't do that, because on the show, he was pretty much, I said what I said, and this is what's gonna happen. So I would really like for him to be with his mom, but I know now he has a football career that he's building on. I just wish that they would all go to counseling, Kimmy included. Okay. Because the counselor would open up a lot of things. Maurice is a lawyer and he cocky with it. But if they find somebody like Dr. Francis, it ain't gonna work.
I would like to see, I know some people is like, you want to keep monsters therapy off of television. I would like to see Kimmy and Maurice kind of address some things in therapy. I'd like to hear what the therapist would say they should use as tools to engage each other.
Maurice probably won't follow it anyway, because he played too doggone much.
It won't work because you have to want counseling. If you don't want it, then they're going just to appease judge, like for Martell, appeasing the judge
Right.
because he said do it. You have to want therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, and I'm going back to the other live because you didn't bring this up.
Okay.
But the Sophia So Extra, she was dead ass wrong.
Who's that?
Y'all call her Sophia So
Oh,
Gucci.
Soguchi. Okay,
Yeah.
girl. What's
She
up?
was,
What's your thoughts on Soguchi? You told me to talk about it and you didn't even show up.
yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Look, okay, so Gucci talked about Selena's baby shower when she got there, right?
Yes.
She didn't offer to help. Now you claim you want blended families, but if you see this lady is over here at your stepdaughter's shower, help her out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so then that happened. So you talked about the girl baby shower, but you had your children out in the damn sun holding their damn hand over their face.
That's
So
right.
your baby shower wasn't too
Right.
better than hers.
That's something. Yes, I agree. They had that whole conversation about the light skinned, dark skinned kids.
Okay, so then when they get to Latrice's event, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody missing the fact that Tamra messy ass, that's why Marisha stay on her neck,
Mm-hmm.
called So Gucci over there after Selena was telling her they wasn't really on the best of terms. Now, why Tamara couldn't walk over there? She called her over there. And everybody, well, a lot of people are saying, you know, well, if she ain't want to speak, da-da-da. Okay, come on now. Somebody got to be the adult here. You got your kids in here. You know what I'm saying? Your daughter, your stepdaughter in here.
Mm-hmm.
So then an altercation happened.
Mm-hmm.
After the altercation, So Gucci come and tell all the lies to everybody. She told that she didn't. I don't know what story she was telling. She didn't. She left out a lot of parts. She made it seem like she was the victim when she ran up on Selena,
Right.
threw her glasses off, took her purse off. She was ready to run up and got done up. Had that knot on her head, sitting to the side on that bench. I still saw it.
Wow. Wow.
So,
Well, just because you get a knot don't mean you lost, though.
oh, she lost. I think that wig was on the floor.
Uh-oh.
Somebody wig came off, and I don't think it was Selena wig.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm.
You think it was Gucci?
Mm-hmm. That's why she going around telling everybody she saw her. And Marie is on Latrice for nothing. Listen, when So Gucci was getting a building for Latrice, the first building she showed her, she told Latrice, you can't change nothing in here because it's historic. I'm not going to be purchasing no building I can't make no changes to. Right?
That's
so,
right. Exactly.
Everybody's saying, well, you know, she should have at least gave her a courtesy call. When you go down to Geico and you talk to them about insurance, and they say, okay, here's your quote, call us. When you go over to Allstate and get Allstate, do you call Geico and let them know I went to Allstate? No, you do not.
That's kind of different, though, for me when you're dealing with a circle. I just think integrity and loyalty and stuff like that is.
She could
I
not
get
deliver.
you still could have told the girl now. I just look side as like that's people that will step on you to get on top type of mentality. If you just can't say a call, listen, you ain't delivering, you ain't coming across nothing I like, so I'm gonna go with this person. And then if So Gucci got mad, I'd be like, listen, you just hating. But she should have at least gave her that courtesy call. They too close of a circle.
Guess what? If she didn't give her a courtesy call, why she couldn't bring it up to her at the next event? She ain't say nothing. She went and talked about it to everybody. Why you didn't come and tell Latrice if she didn't come?
They both
they
handled it
eventually
wrong.
talked. They eventually talked.
They both handled it wrong, but I just don't want. For me, wouldn't want to just because I know how I would want to do business. I look at people's movements, how they sneaky behind back type thing. I look at all. It's like with Mel. Why would she do business with people who show her that they will jump ship quick, that they're not loyal, that they Ponzi scheme? Why would I do business with a person who is like that? So it's kind of when you look at certain movements in people, both of them handled it wrong.
Well, how
but
you
I
know
definitely
Latrice didn't feel like that about So Gucci? because
She
they
should
never
have.
really
Then
talked
don't
about
play it
that.
off. See, I'm a straight shooter. Pow pow. I ain't even gonna play it off. I ain't even gonna have you as my thing if I don't trust you.
Guess what? You
You
know we
know.
on reality TV. You know they gotta
But I
bring
look
it.
sideways at what's his name? Because I don't hang around with people that my husband slept with or messed with even before. Even if I don't have a problem with them, I ain't hanging with you.
Well, I mean, Selena and So
So
Gucci in
that
the same
shows a
room.
little bit.
Selena and So Gucci are in the same room. They both slept with the same man. So, to each his own.
That's
That's in the
because the
country. That's in the
person.
country.
Okay.
Mm,
So let me interrupt you. I'm gonna have you
mm.
keep going because we got some more people added to the panel. Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
I know you
Let me
brought up,
put you on mute.
huh?
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I know you brought up So Gucci. Did you want to talk about anything else? You want to talk about Shirley Strawberry and Ernesto?
No, I just want to say this too. The Men on Bell Collective, they play that tough role, but they are really scared to lose those women.
Every
I
single
don't
one
care.
of
Yeah, I don't care how. That's why Cliff keep Latrice in that um, submission state and talk to her crazy. But if she ever uh, braise up and roll out, he gonna be like Glenn.
yeah, yeah. I agree with you.
That's
Just
all I wanted to see.
a side note, because Coco Lee said that Latrice was wrong because when you're a realtor, you put a lot of time and research in finding a property that's valuable, and she could have given notice. And if she would have given notice and those contracts were signed correctly, that other realtor would have had to pay the other one, So Gucci, a percentage of the sale. That's how it works. You
Right. She
realtor
didn't sign a paper.
behind, then that means that they get part of that money.
Right. She didn't sign a paper.
She didn't
And at the same time, as a realtor, she should have reached out to Latrice as well and said, "Do you still want me to do this for you?" She could have did that too. So, like they say,
Correct.
both of them had a fault in that part. But
For
Latrice
sure.
did not instigate no fight between her and Selena.
Nope. Okay. Now
All right.
here's one. Lisa Love just put this on the screen because the other day, maybe two videos ago, I said, "How soon should you do a background check on someone new?" This could be men or women, doesn't matter, because now that we're seeing what's going on with Shirley Strawberry and Ernesto, a lot of people are saying that this man had a history. And Lisa Love said, as a reminder, ladies, do your due diligence as it pertains to dating, because you have to find out their family, their credit, their criminal history, and decide from there if you want to move forward. Because I would say that has to be like the most, if I don't know, if there was somebody that you love, for them to find out that they had that on a computer, I think that would, like, you would just lose your mind. Like, there isn't anything about your world. You would second guess everything you ever thought you knew about yourself, about your instincts, your intuition, to have missed something like that.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Anywho, let's see. Lady D, or let's see who's next. I'm sorry. I think it's Blessed Queen. We had a couple of people drop down, but Blessed Queen is actually next in Lady D.
Hi, good afternoon, ladies. Good afternoon, Diana.
Love you, blessed queen.
I
Hi.
love you,
Hi.
mommy.
How are you?
I'm good after God. I'm holding on.
Okay. I'm glad you're holding on. What do you think about everything? I hope
I
everything.
have a different take basically on everything, but I'm not going to touch on everybody. I'm going to start with NeNe Leakes,
Okay.
and for everybody and anybody who have not, and I put that in capital, have to deal with a sick loved one, whether it be husband, brother, father, or mother, on a daily basis, please go to the back of the room.
Uh-oh.
I do that for a living right now. I'm in my patient house. I take care of the elderly, and you get attached to strangers, and it is emotionally, mentally, and physically taxing on someone. And for a loved one, you get even more burnt out because you are invested even more.
Yeah, that's true.
You understand what I'm
It's
saying?
hard
So,
to watch someone pass away, like
yeah,
to know
it's
that's the
hard
end
because
result. And I've
someone,
done that, so I don't have to go to the back of the room.
yeah, and then some patient, because even some, my patient daughter, she always said that having a loved one as a patient it's even more taxing because you are emotionally attached to the person. So having, your husband and seeing that they're going through and they're snapping at you and telling you all kind of thing that is very hurtful because they are in pain, and you cannot react the way that sometimes you would want to react to a stranger, because I could tell my patient, not today. No, I'm not having it. This is your husband. You have to sit down. Okay, sweetie. Oh my God. I know I don't understand exactly how you feeling, but babes, can you? I'm doing my best, and you have to try to pacify that person while you of yourself are being affected by it emotionally.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So as for her, with the guy, all I can say, after going through what she had to go through with her husband, wherever she find love and not really wherever, but um, if it's a friendship or whatever, because she need a break. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
if this man makes her laugh, kudo to him and kudo to her.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's right.
Um,
Okay.
Mhm.
You.
with regards to Kimmy, Fester, Kaiwa, and Junior, I have a different take because I've been step parents to two different set of children. They are all grown now, and but for me, I establish rules and regulation with both the guy that I was getting into and the children mother. This is the rule of my house. This is what goes on in my house. I'm going to treat your child the way that I treat mine's. But this is how I control, this is how I conduct, this is how I treat my children. If you are not happy with it, please let your child father visit them at your house,
Mm.
because in my house this is the rule and regulation. And I'm glad to say that those parents, up to this day, there's still, even though I and the individual have separated over 20 something years, they still just tell people, no, you need to check Bernadette, because of Bernadette they're this way, because because I had certain standard and certain rules and certain regulation with regards to how I grow my children and how anybody child goes. So I have a lot of bonus grandchildren
Mm-hmm.
because of the relationship that we take. Because if mine's do the dishes, I'm sorry, yours gonna do the dishes when they have to come home. Because I had 7 children, so most of the time my house had 10 to 12 children at the time when my bonus children come over. Your name go on the roster of doing the dishes, doing the garbage, making. No, you're not going to get up and leave your bed unmade, because here what going on, you going to sleep in the living room sitting down.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
had, a different thing with regards to it, and I thank God that my bonus children and we are in a relationship to up to today. Their mother used to call them, call me, Bernadette, so and so, so and so. I was like, what? I was like, okay, put her on the phone. I was like, what is your mother telling me? Auntie, no, oh no, what is your mother telling me?
Uh-huh.
I said, we're not having that discussion. You need to go and do what you do. You don't talk back.
Oh,
You do not talk back. You're not happy with what's said. At my house, you need to sit down and write it out and we'll have a discussion about it. But no, you're not going to answer me back. No,
listen.
we have a discussion.
Les Queen plays no games.
No,
No
I
games.
don't. And
Mhm.
so, and even now in my children, my adult children life, my son-in-law and my daughter and my grandchildren, they all know that I wouldn't say their role, because role is so much of a strong word, but they
Mhm.
know how to act and how to carry about themselves and how to function.
Okay.
Kimmy is a great example, because I would touch on several things with Kimmy. Kimmy
Mm-hmm.
is a great example of women, whether young or old, lowering their standard for a man.
Mm.
Oh, child.
You understand what I'm
That's
saying?
fired.
That is something that you don't do. Again, I can talk from experience because I've did it not only once but twice, because you think that you need a man or you don't want to be alone or whatever. So Kimmy is a great example for women of not lowering your standard for a man, and that is what you get.
And that's what you get.
And
Okay.
That's
that is
right.
what you get for doing that. With regards to Junior, I believe based on thing, again, both parents have two different parenting skill.
Okay.
Kimmy has been a single parent. She raised her boy child to be a man, and he finished college based on the storyline that they have about him. They never show him in prison or anything like that till he finished college and he bought a condo, and now he's on a boat and enjoying himself. So she raised her son. I have a problem when women like to say that a woman cannot raise a son. But throughout history, women have been raising sons, because whether
Exactly.
you are in a two family house,
Amen.
90% of the time, the man, the father, the daddy, the sperm donor is out of the house, and the woman, the mother, is in the house to train that boy, to train that girl. So women, uh-huh.
The most interest I was just going to say the most interesting about this whole entire thing, okay, is that number one, Maurice from episode 1 was so adamant about having his son with him for this what he considered his formative years. And this could have been a storyline that they just abandoned. But I actually appreciate the fact that they are showing that despite the fact that this man's first episode of season 1 said, if I have to move my ex-wife here to live in one of my properties for free, I'm doing it because this is how passionate I am about having my son here so that I can raise him. And for us to see that he has dropped a ball, I think that is important.
Yes,
I understand sometimes we feel like, it's a replay, but really this is a continuation of a necessary storyline. I mean, before I knew everything I know now,
yeah.
when I saw Kimmy sitting on that, wherever they were they at
At the cabin.
mountain? Yeah, okay, they were at the cabin. And he kissed her on the forehead and said, "You good?" Because it's going down one way or the other. Like,
Yep.
I don't give a damn
Exactly.
about your tears. And she sat there and said, "Are we done?" To the cameraman, like, "Get this camera out of my face. I'm going to lose all of my shit." And I was just like, "Ooh, this is real." So for me, when I watched it, I was like, okay, now that we've gone to this point, Reese Jr. is not a small child anymore. We saw him squeeze Kimmy out of the decision-making conversations all the way up until, listen, you squeezed me out so much that I have people in the streets telling me about something in my house. Like, that is a big deal. Now we're here. We're here where he is old enough to say, "Dad, I wish I would have more of your time. Like, you're talking to me like I'm a robot. Get up at 5, do this, this, and this." And really, it's all a game because you don't care if I do it or not, because you told her you didn't care if I do it or not. So that's why I don't do it. It's all a game. And now we get to see right now in real time where this story has evolved to, where the mother, his biological mother, has to fly down to get her child's emotional state in order. That says a lot. I think that is important. I think that we should be talking about it. We sometimes think, especially I apologize, I don't want to offend anybody. I'm saying what I know. Black children are supposed to be seen and not heard.
Yeah.
Black children are supposed to do what people say and not do what they see people do. And if we don't start talking about that too in very real time, and we can say, Melody has even come out in recent months and said, "I have made changes in my parenting because this is what I had thought was the right way." It's not the right way. It's not the right way. And I like that we are having real discussions about it. It's not the right way. Kids can sense and feel everything you sense and feel. They don't have the language for it, but everything you as an adult feel, sense, fear, happiness, all of those feelings are inside of them. nervousness, confusion, it's all inside of them. It is up to adults to give them the language to express themselves properly.
Right.
That's
Right.
it.
Yeah.
So,
And go ahead. Yeah.
no,
So
ma'am.
what I'm saying with that is continue is that I'll come to Festa because that's another story with him, and not only just him, but the lack of parenting skill with also his brother. Because so I'll come to Festa in a minute. Maurice is who I call Festa because I just can't with him. But
Hmm.
with regards to Junior, um, again, I believe that he and Kimmy had a relationship prior to Kimmy getting sick. And the reason why I said that, because Kimmy said that he loved to be cuddled, he loved to be held,
Be touched.
to
Yes, he
be
was a
touched.
touchy
Well,
feely kid. Yeah.
yeah, and his father don't do that. So they had a relationship. And then also remember Kimmy and Kaiwa, they had their issue. And I have, had blended family where my ex would sit down with his presence at the time and talk about me in front of the children. And sometimes children react to what they hear adults saying about each other.
Right.
You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? So he was caught in the middle with my mother being hurt and you being a side piece and all this kind of thing. So there's a whole lot that he had to digest and to sift through.
Hmm.
And on top of it now, this is where so he need help because Kimmy come and she gets sick, and it's seeing the emotional change and the difference, because I can only imagine him feeling helpless because I have had cancer, both side, paternal and maternal side of my family. And also I had a friend, God rest her soul, October is going to make 2 years since she passed away. So I know the emotional toll that the children seeing you nauseous, you can't keep up, how that also may have affected that child and is also partly contributing to him not being able to focus and concentrate in school. Sorry, go ahead. I see you want to say something.
No, I was going to say, Kimmy actually talked about that a little bit. She said that the thing that her and Monster used to, Reese Jr., the thing they
Yes.
would bond over is cooking. She said when he would come home, he always wanted to help her cook. And when she got sick, she couldn't cook anymore.
Yeah.
So she said that he would come past her door. I guess she was on the bottom level. He would
Yeah.
come past her door and peek in to see her. And she'd be like, it's okay, you can come in, because he didn't know what to do. He didn't know where to
Right.
put his energy. And she said she started buying those food cooking kits that come in, they deliver to your door and they give you the menu and how to prepare it.
Right.
She said because she couldn't do it, she would buy the kits for him so that he can make dinner, and that can be a part of their bonding experience.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, stuff. But the fact that she thinks that far ahead, that's what I mean.
And
When
his own daddy don't do
yeah.
it.
right, that I like that part. And she didn't even say that on the show. That was something she said in an interview.
She
Yeah.
got
Like
practice. She
that
got
she thinks
practice
like
on
that.
that.
Huh?
She has practice with that.
She has right. She's a caregiver, so she understands, and she's always trying to figure out how to make
And she raised
feel
her son.
comfortable. I said the same thing. I have always been like the sensitive person to other people, and I
Yeah.
come from a huge family. Even though it's just me and my sister, my mom's family was big. We had a lot of cousins and stuff like that. It's easy for the quiet one, the sensitive one, the one who isn't talking as much but paying attention.
Yeah.
It's easy for people to push them to the side. You don't see them all the time. And
Mm.
sometimes people have to pay attention to the quiet ones, because the quiet ones is the one that takes in everything.
Everything. Yeah. Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that is his case. So, I'm glad that Kaiwa is in the mix now, because Kaiwa parenting skill as well. I can relate to Kaiwa parenting skill because my only son, he was brought up like a king. He didn't know up to now. I am now teaching my 36-year-old son how to do dishes and quarrel with him when his girlfriend complained about him, dropping his clothes and picking, and she have to, because that's how I raised him. You understand? Unfortunate I did not raise him to be a effective, tidy man because I always walked and pick up behind him. Because even at 36, Dwayne is my cocoa boy. I still look at him as my baby. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I say I understand Kai was saying she did everything for him, so she didn't allow him to do anything for himself. Now I am glad that I'm getting a do-over, so I'm doing it differently with my 18-year-old grandson. Well, I started prior to him being 18, so he knows how to do the dishes, how to iron, how to prepare a little meal for himself. That I did not do with my son, so that I can understand Kai was training of Junior and Marie's training of Junior and her son.
Mm-hmm.
Now coming to Fester, he and his brothers, but I'm only going to talk to the two that we are familiar with on the show. You can clearly see that they had no role model, no example of how to be a man and how to be a father, because Maso had said over and over and over that those are teachers' children, meaning that he just donated the sperm. He didn't even know that his son had an allergy.
Right. That was funny.
You understand what I'm saying? So he don't know how to be with the children. So when the show first started and Hotel was picking up his children, he was watching him like, what you do? Really?
Mhm.
Really? How do you do that? How do you go about picking up your children from school and dropping them home? So Maurice, Festa 1 and 2, they knows nothing about how to be a father and how to be a male contributor. So it was so funny and ironic at the same time that you wanted to be in this child life when you knows nothing. And okay,
That's my point.
but then Ladon too. I grew up in a family without love. There were 101 of us with my grandparents, and I
100 and
did
what?
101. The amount of us, the amount of us.
I got a big family too, but
Yeah,
love came somewhere, even if it wasn't from my drug addict mother and them. I had a grandmother, or uncle, or aunt somewhere.
no, we didn't grow up. When I asked my great granddad, Grandma, you don't love me. She's like, you have a roof over your head, you have food on your belly, and you have clothes on your back. That's love.
101, it becomes utility, not
Yeah.
not feeling.
So I didn't know about the physical love and touch and saying the word touch. I didn't see my grandfather embrace her and kiss her. I learned that when I was as a young adult, already have most of my children, and seen I moved from the country and I went into the city and seen my friend mother. You understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Greet them and would hug them and would kiss them and tell them that they love them. And that is where I adopted from, because I was like, oh, wow. I did not know that I was missing it because I didn't have it. But
Mm.
now that I saw it, I realized that it was something that was missing. So I adopted it, and thank God that I did. So I'm saying that to say this for Maurice. You may not, your father would pop in, and it seems like when your father pop in, your mother had another child to see about, because she had to feed him, walk behind him, take up his. So you had no role model of having a man. But you are the age right now, and you are on television, that you could Google how to be a
But
father.
he don't want to because he think he the boss. How can you teach somebody that think they know everything?
Well, yeah, I understand that. But to put it over on Junior, no. The
No.
issue is Maurice.
Yes.
Period. Because Maurice thinks
Yes.
that he is a dictator, and that is why I start off by saying,
And
him,
Maurice comes from a big family of siblings, right? He comes from
Hmm.
yes,
stallion siblings. His father, his parents divorced, mother raised the children, and all the men that we've seen, they all seem to have the exact same thoughts
yes,
about,
They
yeah,
came from the struggle. They came from the struggle.
yeah, but they
right?
choose not to be different. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? They choose to
You're
hold
right.
on. They choose not to be different because, as I said, Marcel is like those are teacher children. He don't pay much part in his son upbringing based on what little we have seen.
Only do they not they're not different. Like I will never see a therapist kind of mentality for whatever
Right.
the reasons are, which they'll have to get into that because their mother is a progressive woman. She is a PhD or whatever. So it's weird that her children are so stuck in a space, but she isn't. And that's something too. Like I don't know, but Miss Queen, Bless Queen, if you don't mind, I'm gonna get to Lady D because I see people are dropping down and I want to make sure I get everybody.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. Hey, Miss Lady D, can you hear me? Uh-oh.
Yes, ma'am.
Hold on
Yes,
one
ma'am.
second. I made you big, child. Let me put you back down. Okay. Okay. How are you? What is going on? What would you like to talk about?
I am good. How are you? Hi, panel.
Hey.
Hey,
Hello.
Han.
Um, I did watch Detroit. It was really interesting to me, but
Okay.
I do feel like Brandon is a little under the L. That's just me.
Uh-oh.
But who knows?
Now,
You
why
know,
do
not
you
me.
think that? Can I ask? Because I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this review. I want to know what people are thinking. Is it because of this whole male movement, or has he said something or done something that was a little off-putting?
It might be because of that romance that him and I don't know the other dude name, the one that's married to the doctor.
Hmm. His
I'm
name is
thinking
Anthony. That's the one. Hmm.
yes, because of their bro romance or whatever they got going on. It
Oh,
just
okay.
seems
Which
a
one did you say? Because you didn't say Anthony was the one you thought was bi. Which one did you say was bi?
no, Brandon.
Brandon, the ponytail? No. Which one is Brandon? Oh, Brandon's the one that's supposed to be the handsome all around guy. All the little.
The music producer, or whatever he is with the music.
Oh,
He married to the smart mouth one. She seems like she's very mouthy.
the one with the
And she's
ponytail.
yeah.
Oh,
I think their last name is it last name Smith or something or of another like that. I don't know. I'm bad with names when it comes down to
yes,
stuff.
Brandon
I watch
Smith. So Brandon is the one.
it. Yes.
Brandon is the one, and then I got it wrong. Russell is a tall guy who is in the military. He does like something. He's in the reserves or something like that.
And he want to be a pastor, right?
Oh, does he want to be a pastor too,
Does he
Chad?
want to be that?
Yep.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Don't want to pay no taxes.
Huh?
He don't want to pay no taxes.
Okay.
But I did like the show. I liked it way better than CC because I thought DC was boring. It was just
Okay.
me. But I thought it was boring. It wasn't enough. I don't know. They
How
just
many
didn't
episodes
have-
of PC did you, or how many seasons did you watch? The first and the
I-
second, or just the first?
I watched the first, and I tried to watch the second half of the season 2, but I couldn't get past it. It's just a little
Okay.
bit boring for me, but
Okay.
and then Maurice, he is a piece of garbage because the way
Uh-oh.
he treats Kimmy, it's just like, wait a minute, dude, you know she's sick, and he wants sex all the time. That's just way too much. Ain't nobody got time for all that. I'm going through chemo. I don't have time to give you what you need. Let me just get halfway better before you act like you guys gotta have some sex. Nah. Leave
Right.
me be.
Right.
And then Troy and Kim, they do too much. I don't like Kim. I'm not a Candy fan because Candy don't own her stuff. And I was surprised on Sunday's episode when she was talking to Sheree, she actually owned it and she apologized. I said, this is the first in
That's
history
right.
that you ever admitted to doing something wrong to somebody. Because she's always being shady. I just don't like shadiness. It's like, okay, if you do something, own it. Don't do it and then act like you didn't do anything. Now, I do like Marlo. I'm a Marlo girl.
Me too.
Okay.
And I like the NeNe. I wish she was back on the show because the show is going to the dumps. It's just
Never gonna happen
ridiculously.
though, unfortunately.
They need some new people, new blood. They need to get rid of Candy, Kenya. Uh, they could get rid of Sonya too.
Yep.
I do like Drew a little bit, but sometimes she do some shady stuff. They can keep Drew and
Yep.
Marlo, and I'll be good.
Okay.
What else is there? I'm happy for NeNe. I'm glad she got somebody, even if they are just friends. I'm happy that she does have somebody. What was your other topics?
So we talked about NeNe. Hold on. Kim and Croy was another one. She called the police to just give them a warning that her husband was accusing her friend of kidnapping, and she went to go pick the son up, but she said he also stole her divorce paperwork, and she suspects that things would get worse when she went home. So she wanted to let them know what was happening. It was like she was afraid of just setting up the conversation. It was weird. She was speaking very calmly, but she just said at the end, I don't think that this is going to be the end of it. I believe something more will happen, and I want to basically put you guys on notice.
Now, if she didn't tell Corey that's what she was doing with their son, then she is wrong for that. Anytime you give somebody permission to take your child somewhere, you're supposed to let the other parent know, especially if they still
Well, they live in the same
child
house. They're not separated or anything. They live in the same house. They're estranged, but live in the same house. So she told a friend to pick up this kid, and she said that they do this every year, and this particular time he said it was a kidnapping charge.
Okay.
And they have 4 kids together, so it wasn't like she was taking all the kids, just the one. The other
Just ghetto
subject,
stuff.
the other subject was Jonathan Majors. He filed charges on his ex-girlfriend, the one that has him in a bind right now, ended his career, all of his endorsements gone, has him out here. People are saying that he is a woman abuser, but now he has filed charges on her, and they have picked her up. They said it's enough or I shouldn't say they picked her up yet, but police has enough probable cause to pick her up for whatever these violations are. And then Jada Pinkett Smith, she has given Jaden some psychedelic. Jaden said she gave it to all the kids, but he is out here paying his mama bad, as if he doesn't know better. Why are these kids doing this? But either way, he went to a conference where he shared a lot about his family, and now Jada's name's gonna be mud out there again. Every 3 months, Jada goes through it.
Right. And see, but Jada, she put it on herself. And I feel like I'm going to go back a little bit. I'm going to go back to Will Smith and Chris Rock. Now, when that man, we all know Chris Rock says some stupid stuff every year at these Oscars to Jada. It's like, it's not the first time, it's not the second time. What you think gonna happen? You think this man gonna let you talk about his wife every chance you get? It gets old. And Will Smith is one of the greatest actors out there. Besides a whole bunch of
I said, you said the greatest actor. I said, okay, child.
Well, one of them. One of them. Not
Don't
the
be
great
fooled. Them people all friends. Him, Chris
right.
Rock,
That's
and Jada.
That's what I was about to say.
What?
Chris Rock and Will probably done talked about this and squashed it, but America's not going to let. Well, some Americans, let me just say that. Some Americans is not going to let this go away quietly. They're going to bring it up every chance they get because they feel like, oh, he shouldn't have did that. But if he wouldn't have did that, he would have died for not standing up for his wife. You see what I'm saying? He would have got dragged. He would have got, you're a low count man for not standing up for your wife. So
yeah, but it was a comedy.
That was fake.
He would have been gone if he do, darned if he don't.
That was fake.
Standing up for his wife in what way? Because, I mean, come on. He did not say anything whatsoever disrespectful to Jada with regards to her alopecia. All he said was G.I. Joe Jane 2. What is disrespectful? I suffer from alopecia.
The way he said it, You
No,
shouldn't have said it
no,
because
no.
the woman got alopecia. Why would you sit up there and say something like that about a woman that got alopecia? The woman,
He
the
did, but
GI,
did he
hold on,
know?
the GI Jane woman
Yeah,
has
but
a bald head. She
sweetie,
has
did
a
he
lot. She
really
has.
know
Hold on.
that
She has. Hold
this
on.
woman was suffering
I
from
didn't
it?
interrupt you. Can I talk? I didn't interrupt you. I don't like people to do that to me.
No,
What
I
I'm
was just
saying,
asking a question,
okay,
love.
but
I'm
can I
sorry.
finish?
I'm
Can I?
so sure, sweetie. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
So what I'm saying is the fact that the woman has a bald head in GI Joe. Why would you sit up there and do a joke about a woman with a? She has alopecia. Why would you do a joke that about a woman when she has a bald head because alopecia? That's not funny. You could have said anything else besides besides GI Jane joke. He does too much. And comedians need to learn how to be more respectful when you're a comedian. That's not funny. And yeah, she laughed, but then she thought about it and then she got mad. That hurt her feelings.
You
And
must
then
ain't never
Will,
heard Corey Holcomb.
Comedy is comedy.
and then
I,
Will, and then Will sat up there and said, "Keep my wife's name out your mouth." That's not the first time that this man has said anything to this woman.
right. I was just about to say, it actually felt like there was a little more to it to me. I thought there was some like standing beef, and they're not friends, and they're still not friends. They still haven't squashed this beef. Uh, what's his name? Chris refuses to talk to Will Smith. He did a whole tour where he was doing jokes about it. It was
It's
pretty
all
bad.
about the money, Diana. Don't fall for that stuff.
It's about the money.
They probably talking behind closed doors, girl.
I agree that it's about the money, though, for sure. You think they talk behind closed doors?
Yes, indeed. They had been friends for years. You didn't see
Oh,
that video
really?
came
I
out with
didn't think they
Will.
were friends. No, what
Listen,
happened?
you didn't see that video when Will was learning how to pretend slap somebody. Did you see that?
No.
Okay?
Yeah,
So you
but
know
that
how it
is
looked like
My
he
something
got
only
that
his.
thing,
is that I think put out there, because for me is that um black people, especially black men, have always been looked down on and have taught to be animals. And even though he was upset because Jada said something, because he was laughing, because I thought that was part of the act. I could not believe that it was real, because I wanted trying to replay it, because I thought that was part of the act, because he actually was laughing at the joke, and Jada had said something to him, you understand what I'm saying, that trigger him. And that is another thing
She
with,
didn't say anything. She made a face like this.
yeah, yeah, so which speaks volume for him, because he know what he lives with behind the scene. And when you want to embarrass your old husband on national television to talk about entanglement, please, she is another one. I love her and I respect her as a woman, and as a woman myself, having 6 daughters and
she
5
weird.
granddaughters, she is a woman that also a man, my son, needs to pray to God before having a wife like her,
Oh
Yeah,
no,
she's
no, no,
weird.
no, not like
But I
her.
especially
will
with
say,
what going
Not
on with
like
her
her.
and her sons, with what going on with what she is allegedly doing, because she from a broken, we have to look at the root cause. She has been broken, she said, from 9 years. Her grandmother has told her, she said it to pleasure herself, so she has having issue with her mother having substance abuse and all this kind of thing, and these things do affect us.
They do. So, Lady D, what's your thoughts? What's your point with Jada and what Jaden, her son, said? Are you
Um,
okay with it or no?
no.
No.
No
Okay.
parent should be giving any child any type of drug unless they have ADHD.
Okay. Okay. I just wanted to know what you thought.
I
Let's see.
agree with you.
We got a point. The seven said, I'm not a fan of them either. I'm a bald woman. I didn't find the G.I.J. comment disrespectful, but I did find the slap disrespectful because I don't condone violence. Okay.
Wasn't a
Amen.
real slap.
my thing about that is, well, being a black woman,
Uh-huh.
and I know some black women. I've encountered some black women. They can cut their hair off one day, and it doesn't bother them. But it's a
Hmm.
lot of black women that they equate hair to their actual persona or who they are, and I just, to me, the joke was whack.
Uh-huh.
It was whack. I just feel like, and I love comedians because sometimes you do need lighthearted things just to laugh. And I just I just wish that he could have made jokes, even like, you know how some comedians make jokes about their family or about themselves, or
Right.
like, or even, you know, I just wish he could have challenged did I don't know how to pronounce, how to say that, because I hated the whole situation for both men. However, I like I say, I liked both of course I love Will more than I like Chris, but to me it did put Chris more on the map, because after that everybody knew Chris, and but be honest, like his stuff started selling out
But he's
after
still
that.
whack.
Hoping to
He
give the joke.
still is whack.
I'm gonna say this, and then because I want to go live with you guys a little later today too, but I have to stop and do some errands. But I want to say this because I didn't realize there was a beef of any kind between Will Smith and Chris Rock or Jada. I know Chris Rock is one of those shock comedians, and he makes jokes about people. But when I look at when I look at Jada, she's always been a really confident woman. That doesn't mean that people don't say things that going to get under her skin, but she's always been a person who, if I want to have short hair, I'll have short hair. If I want to have long hair, I'll have long hair. If whatever look I want to give, if I want to be an actress, if I want to be a singer, she's always done it, and she's never let anybody stop her or any of the words bother her. At least not outwardly. We've never seen it, in my opinion. So when that did happen that way, I was shocked. And when she said it's because of alopecia, I was also shocked, because I was like, I would have never guessed that she even had alopecia.
Because she never talked about it.
Never talked about it. I would have just thought that this was just the season she was in, because she often changes her. I think she may have had her hair shaved before. Like, this is the first time we've seen it. When she started saying it was because of hair loss and things like that, yeah, there probably was an insecurity behind it, because she said I could dye my hair and do whatever. I just never equated it to that. So you just never know what people are going through at any given moment, I guess, or time. But she showed up. She was wearing that. This is the picture. She was wearing that green dress. She looked amazing.
She
After
did.
Will Smith smacked the hell out of Chris Rock, that whole family partied the entire night. They didn't look sad about nothing.
Exactly.
There was not one picture where they looked like they was gloom. And when he went down there, and I think it was Denzel Washington was holding his face like, did you lose your damn mind? Like, what is happening here? And he was like, I'm cool. And they said, we'd like you to leave. He said, I'm going up on that stage. I'm going to say what I have to say, and I'm going to sit myself right back in this chair. He didn't do what anybody asked him to do. Like, you're making people uncomfortable. He said, oh, well. He went to those parties. He was smiling at every single one of the family members that was a part of that party. Grandma, Gammy, is that her name? Gammy,
Yeah.
Willow, Jacob, and the other one, Trey. Not one person skipped a beat that night. Now, usually when you accidentally smack the hell out of somebody, you might want to go home and lay down. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. Those people act like that's what I meant to do. And so that, for that, it is what it is. Oops. For that, it was what it was. So there was definitely two different energies that happened. Chris Rock teared up after that smack. He teared up on the stage. Yeah. He made a joke out of it. I just got smacked by King Richard, but he made a joke out of it. But he was hurt, and his face was.
Yeah.
So
Not to,
don't y'all know all them people
both things
are good
can be
actors?
true at the same time.
Yeah, true.
All those people's are good actors. They didn't want Oscars, Tonys, Academies. Those are good actors. Don't be fooled by the BS.
No, not when
I
you
did.
have the world watching two black men. It's different to act when the world is judging and condemning two black men. But because for too long, we as black men has fought to be in the spotlight and fought to act into movies that they don't depict the black man as an abuser, a druggie, or something. And Will
Yeah.
have done some good movies, and Chris Rock have talked on his own family, his children.
Across the board for that night, the fact that it was the first time they had ever used a black producer, it was an all black crew, it was an all black everything for that particular
Yeah.
night. So a lot of people were upset by that it became overshadowed by that. But from what I'm understanding, what is the guy's name? The producer that did the show for that night, Will Packard.
Will Packer.
He was actually given an opportunity to come back. So he's going to come back for this year. They said that it was the most amazing event. And people, they had something to talk about at the parties later. So at the end of the day, even though it was a slap heard around the world, like people were talking about it all over every country, every continent, it was still, it was a moment, and we got to learn something new. So it is what it is. Chris Rock will probably think twice about doing. Well, actually, I don't think so. I think Chris is still telling jokes about Jada, and I think he tell jokes about Jada. At least the scenes I've saw. So
he gonna do it even more now.
Even more. I have been on for, I believe, 2 hours
2
now.
hours, 5 minutes, and 14 seconds and counting.
40 seconds and counting. So I am going to come off because I want to put up I want to do another live. I need to research this Shirley Strawberry thing and bring some people back up to talk about this. Let's talk about this and being completely blindsided. Was she blindsided? I would have to say so. Some of the stuff that I've been reading in the comments about it not just being children, but also animals and some other things.
Oh,
wow.
I would like for us as grown women to have a conversation about, I don't know if anybody else has had that experience. I have not, but just kind of being blindsided by someone you thought was one way, turns out to be a completely different way. I think that's a good conversation to have. And we're going to start it with Shirley Strawberry, because I can't even imagine. She has a public platform. People know her well, especially in the radio industry. She gets a lot of awards and accolades. For that to have shown up in her life in the way that it did is pretty terrible. So after I get off of this, I'm going to set up my next live for 6:00 tonight. I'm putting it up so you guys can join. And we're going to just talk about just being blindsided. And then I'll have more information for you on Shirley Strawberry. And that would be 4 hours from now. We can talk about that. Okay, and so you guys will come.
Have a blessed one, everybody. Love you all.
See you later. Ciao.
All right, have a good day.
I appreciate every single one of you for coming up on the platform and helping me be great. As always, thank you to all of my moderators who helped in the chat to keep the chat doing what it's supposed to do. Also, thank you to Bless Queen for becoming a member. And let's see what else. So I have so many people coming up today. I can vouch for the accuracy. Okay. And then I think I might have another topic for you too, because we didn't get a chance to talk about Martel's brother having this opportunity to show up on this channel and then turn out to be something completely different. Okay. Let's see. We have a chat. Okay. I'm being told that I have a meeting, but let's see if I can move it. It won't be at 6. I'm going to set it up for, how about I set it up for 7:30 instead? So I apologize. I thought I could make it at 6, but apparently I am being told I cannot. I am being told that I have a meeting at 7. So let's do that. And then we will talk a little bit later. You guys, I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. Okay. And then I'll see you on the next one.